Globalization is a rapid process that is continuously progressing within today's society. As defined by Diana Crane in 2011, globalization connotes the increasing interconnectedness and interdependence of social, cultural, and economic phenomena across national boundaries. Culture encompasses the ideas, values, and beliefs that are shaped by a group within society. In Phillips' 2010 paper, she refers to culture as the shared meanings transmitted from one generation to another. Cultural globalization is a process that affects the micro, meso, and macro levels of society. As a concept, cultural globalization refers to the cross-border flow of cultures and the subsequent expansion of networks of relations, knowledge, and goods as a result of the intermingling of cultures. As defined by Chamsey, L. O'Jailey, and Patrick Hayden, cultural globalization seems most urgently centered around the impact of the growing volume of exchanges of cultural products, the rising power and visibility of the cultural industries, the apparent ubiquity of Western popular culture, and the consequences for identity that flow from these other forces. This process of cultural globalization affects and molds individuals within society by engaging them as either a product or agent or both of cultural globalization. Being a product of cultural globalization means that the individual has been affected by the process and thus reflects this within their everyday life. For example, through their language, accessories, sport, or music, etc. Whereas an agent of cultural globalization refers to how an individual assists in the expansion of the process. This involves the individual assisting in the advertisement of the cultural globalization, which can be done, for example, by buying trendy clothes or sharing ideas and values with other individuals. To explore how I have been both a product and agent of cultural globalization, I am going to discuss the impacts of technology and sport on my everyday life. Technology is one of the main causes of cultural globalization. The rapid expansion and advancement of technology within the international community is central to the level of globalization that has been achieved today. Technology has been prominent throughout my entire life and thus has made me both an agent and product of cultural globalization. As highlighted by Castell, the structure of today's society is regarded as a network society. This is evident as the reliance upon technology today in order to communicate and complete our everyday lives is rather significant. We use technology for leisure, music, news, to communicate, and to find information. The versatility of modern technology has sped up the process of cultural globalization and has resulted in a hybridized global society. Without the efficiency of technology today, the globe would not be as interconnected and as internationally reliant. Peter McMahon seconds this idea by stating that the globalization of technology has led to the constant expansion of the globe, as well as the intensification of information processing and the capacity to communicate. The demand for technology in today's society is ridiculously high, and myself, as a young university student, am a prime example of the cultural globalization of technology. For example, I have a MacBook Air, an iPhone 8, and a TV, all of which, by me purchasing, have made me a product of cultural globalization. The desire to have technology in 2018 is seen as a necessity. Without technology, everyday tasks become more difficult and modified. I use my phone every day. I use it to talk to my friends and my family, to look at the news, to scroll on Facebook, or to play games. All of which I do as it has been installed within me by the company of the appliance because I am a product of cultural globalization. Following the process of purchasing the product, I will use it and talk about it, tell my friends how great the appliance is, thus making me an agent of cultural globalization. Sport is an activity that has brought individuals of different cultures together for decades. As expressed by Lou Antolihau in his paper concerning basketball in the Philippines, sport has proven to be an effective mechanism for social diversion. He continues to state that the implementation of basketball within the Filipino culture has enabled interaction and means for the promotion of national unity among a populace beset by various geographical and cultural divisions. Anto Lihau also mentions that basketball was used to impart civic values such as competition, fair play, confidence, teamwork, and discipline within the individuals. Similarly, John Norwright states that sport has assumed an even greater role within the globalization process and in the regeneration of national, regional, and local identities. Sport is a powerful actor in bringing together cultures around the world, and this is seen through international events such as the Olympics and the World Cup. Personally, sport has always been prominent within my life. Ever since I was about 8 years old, I have been playing basketball. Basketball was invented in 1891, and following its creation, it has gone on to dominate the globe, most clearly seen in today's society through the NBA. The NBA receives international broadcast, it employs athletes from various cultures and countries, and it distributes paraphernalia across the globe. The merchandise, specifically, highlights the process of cultural globalization that the NBA has instigated for basketball around the world. For example, I own an NBA jersey, and the decision for me to choose and purchase this jersey demonstrates that I am a product of the culture that the NBA has established. Subsequently, when I wear this jersey, I am promoting the culture that the organization has created, and thus I am acting as an agent of cultural globalization for the NBA. Throughout my years of playing basketball, I have versed individuals from various cultures. For example, I have versed teams from China and from America. The experience of versing both of these cultures was amazing, as it demonstrated to me the universality of the game of basketball. It highlighted the concept that Giles expressed in her 2012 book, that being that the idea that sport has the capacity to promote peace and bring cultures together. This concept was evident when versing the Chinese team, as the ability to verbally communicate was not easy. However, the ability to feel connected through the common sport was a reflection of cultural globalization. These events demonstrated to me the true effects of cultural globalization and displayed how basketball and sport has the power to bring together various cultures. Therefore, it can be seen through these effects of technology and sport on my culture that I am both a product and agent of cultural globalization. Each of these elements have molded and transformed my individual identity, thus reshaping my cultural perspective. Being a product of cultural globalization has allowed me to consume and appreciate the culture around me, whilst the ability to be an agent allows me to share and advertise the culture that I have obtained. Thank you.